But anyway, like, your opponents will use combos like that to try to trip you up a good bit. But I just wanted to say what that move was. Perish Song. You can avoid it, but if you get hit by Mean Look or a similar move first, you're in trouble. Okay, Swimmer Darcy, as you can see here, she actually has a good bit of normal Pokemon, so it's actually a good idea to have a fighting type here. You just gotta watch out if she would use Espeon, because it's Psychic, which could easily take out a fighting Pokemon. But anyway, back to the rant. Yeah, as far as like calling me a master of Poketrivia, I don't think that... Okay, I never like stated at any point in this LP, or even in real life for that matter, to anyone that I am like the almighty master of Pokemon and know every single thing about it, so you must bow to me. No, I'm not like that. Pokemon is just a game that I really play to enjoy. I learn a lot from it, because it's a game about strategy, really, and role-playing tends to do that. You know, you gotta do certain things to make certain moves work. Well, in this instance, it's related to Pokemon, but still, as I said, I play these games for the fun of them. I don't play to, like, be this almighty person who says, mine is the one and only way to do things, so you must follow the way I do it. I'm not like that. And I don't know everything about Pokemon, so like even those facts that some of my commenters had shared with me, like about Skiploom with flying moves and Ekans and Arbok special moves that they can get, from time to time that happens. I mean, I don't know everything about Pokemon. I never claimed that I did. I'm still learning about it. I mean, even to this day, like with the new changes, especially starting with Generation 4, with all moves now being physical and special based on their actual effect rather than what type they are. Like, even that kind of trips me up, so I'm still getting used to things like that, and I'm still learning how to properly work with Pokemon. And yeah, Wing Attack there worked on Heracross pretty well, because it was both Bug and Fighting, which are both weak to flying. So that worked out pretty nicely. And we got Ursaring here. Yeah, it's pretty good that my Aerodactyl had Swagger. I'm actually a fan of Swagger. Like, I mean, I love Confuse Ray too, because it's 100% accurate, unless you get hit by, like, Sand Attack or something, but even Swagger's pretty accurate. I don't think Swagger's 100% accurate, though. I think it will miss very occasionally. But, it's still pretty good, because what Swagger does is it increases the opponent's attack, so while they're confused, and if they attack themselves, they'll do more damage as a result, which is pretty much what that Ursaring did to itself, because I used Swagger on it. So it didn't really take much to take out that Ursaring. But yeah, as I was saying about with Poketrivia in general, I mean, I don't mean to upset anybody, but I never claimed I was an expert. Like, I'm not someone who's the master of Pokemon. Like, I don't know everything. I play these games for the fun of them. Just thought I'd go ahead and state that. I mean, that's the type of gamer I am. I play for the fun of them, in addition to finding ways that I can develop good strategies and different methods like that. But in all honesty, that's the ultimate purpose of these games, is to enjoy them and have fun. And that's what I do. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of all I really had to say there, but in response to that, just know that I'm not claiming that I'm some expert. And I don't know everything about Pokemon. And even for the Challenge Cup, this is a good example to help me with this. As you can see, Attraction's really held down my Aerodactyl here. I can't even attack Blissey here. And even though I used Swagger again on Blissey, I got lucky and was able to still hit me nonetheless. Yeah, well, I did get lucky with my Ancient Power, because I did get one critical hit there, but still. Yeah, Blissey shook off its confusion, and Shadow Ball's doing a good bit of damage to me over time. And Attraction's keeping me from attacking, so that was just luck right there that Blissey got the upper hand. And as you see, I'm still attracted. Good thing I knocked out most of Blissey's HP though, so that's good. But what I was saying though anyway is with the Challenge Cup, it's completely random with the teams that you're going to receive, so there really is no guaranteed effective method for preparing for the Challenge Cup. But you could still figure some things out. As I said, which I said earlier even, the Bulbapedia article, which talks about it's a comprehensive list of the Pokemon you can get during the Challenge Cup. It says which ones you can receive. So you could look at something like that. I don't recommend that you reset your game 100 times though, just to get the exact team that you desire. And another thing the article didn't talk about, but I do know this for a fact, because I've tried this myself. Even though you might get the same Pokemon repeatedly, the moves will change every now and then too. Like, even the Jolteon I have, it has Bite, Thunder, Rain Dance, and I'm trying to think what its last move is that it has on here. Well, I know it has Bite, Thunder, and Rain Dance. Those three I know it has. Maybe I can catch it quick here if I look at the moves. While I'm looking at the moves, that is. I usually look at the moves before I make my selections because it helps me determine which Pokemon are the best. I fiddle around a good bit on the Pokemon selection screen, as you can see. Well, you know that. It's been like that for pretty much every video up to this point. And I do apologize for the long waiting times, but, well, it's the only way I can really figure out what the best strategy is to use against my opponents. It helps me when I, like, see the moves. But anyway, back to the topic, even though my Jolteon has Bite, Thunder, and Rain Dance, I'll just say those three because I forget what the last move has. I forget the last move it has. Pardon me, I got tongue twisted. But another time I used it and it had Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, and Quick Attack, and Double Kick. Those were the moves it had instead of what it has now. As I said, it's gonna vary sometimes. The variances aren't, like, huge. Well, no, I take that back. Sometimes they are huge. Because another time, on my first team, when I attempted to record this, I had a Houndoom, and it had Bite, Flamethrower, Sunny Day, and Solar Beam. Well, I actually ended up getting it on my second attempt again. But this time it ended up having Crunch, Sludge Bomb, Ember, and I think it was Roar? Yeah, as you can see, its whole moveset pretty much got changed. Even though it was just the same Pokemon for the Challenge Cup. So that's going to happen with the Challenge Cup each time you play. Not only are the Pokemon you receive randomized, but they're not always going to have the same attacks. And I believe another example I can think of is my Scizor that I have on the team right now with this current walkthrough, or playthrough, pardon me. It has Steel Wing and Fury Cutter. I know another time that I've played this, it had Metal Claw and False Swipe as opposed to those two moves. That's what I'm saying, like, the moves are going to vary as well as the Pokemon. And I know Porygon too, well, all of them for that matter, are pretty much good examples. You can look at any Pokemon, you'll see that's going to happen to them. And yeah, I was actually glad I had Porygon 2. Here's my selection. I mean, obviously the better choice would have been to have Magmar, but, well, yeah, I'll go ahead and say it. I wish I did have Magmar, but Porygon 2 pulled it through for me. Because here's why. His last Pokemon was Venusaur, so Psychic works very well against it. Because Venusaur is part poison, in addition to grass. So yeah, even though he had, like, fire Pokemon on his team, he went with all grass types. I wasn't really expecting that. I was thinking for sure he'd have at least one fire type Pokemon. So I figured I'd go ahead and have Poliwrath on the team, but as you've seen, he didn't do that. They were all grass types. Yeah, he tried Giga Drain first, and then he tries Solar Beam now. Solar Beam's the equivalent of Giga Drain, except it does double damage, pretty much, and it takes 2 turns to utilize. 1 turn to charge, another to launch it. Unless you use Sunny Day, then you don't have to worry about that. Because when you use Sunny Day, the Solar Beam attack doesn't require the charge-up process. It will just activate in the same turn that you use it. I don't think I really had to re-explain that, though, because the Pokemon Academy taught that if you were watching those videos at all. So yeah, if you don't know much about Pokemon, go to the Academy. As you've seen, Porygon 2 helped me out very well here. And I'll go ahead and mention this too. Porygon 2 is just so funny looking because it's like one of those water birds where it like dips its beak down and then lifts it back up. It's like one of those water crane birds. Or they're like a novelty, I guess, where they're like automatic. They just kind of like rock back and forth with their beak. But yeah, that's what Porygon 2 really reminds me of. It's just one of those like novelty birds that you can get. And here's the 6th battle. This trainer here, and you'll actually see, I had to make a video cut here. It took me more than 1 try to defeat her. The first 2 tries were pretty abysmal. And you wouldn't think Jolteon would have lost, but it did. Jolteon should have helped me out very well there, but I actually had some bad luck with this battle the first 2 times, so I was glad I had the continues to use, because I could have been really screaming and be like, oh, Challenge Cup, I have to redo it again on Master Ball level. With the Komodo girl Amiko, though, I'm pretty sure she, well, it might be a different Pokemon whenever you do the Challenge Cup Master Ball, like, because the Pokemon your opponents get is randomized as well. But for this battle, she always uses Snorlax. Like with the current team that she has, she always had a Snorlax on her team. So I had to take that into consideration. And one of the team members I had to pick was Poliwrath because of its Dynamic Punch move. And yeah, it's a good thing that Poliwrath has Mind Reader too. That way I can make sure that Dynamic Punch will land a hit. It's very important to actually hit, because Dynamic Punch, even though it's powerful, it is pretty inaccurate. And it does have a nice side benefit. It will confuse the target if it hits the opponent. Yeah, as you can see here. And what is with Heracross in this playthrough? I don't get that. I've seen like a ton of Heracrosses. But yeah, I switched here, and for good reason too. I pulled out Aerodactyl because, like before, flying is quadruply good against bug and fighting, because both of those types are weak to flying. If I'm not mistaken, it did switch. That's what I thought happened. Yeah, they do that a good bit. They catch on to your tricks like that, I guess you could say. Oh, and I guess I should mention, I think I already said it earlier, but I'll go ahead and say it again. Make sure you have an electric Pokemon on the team. When I seen Ampharos there, that's what reminded me of that. Some of the Pokemon that you'll face in here are not just water types, but are like a combo of water and poison and water and ice or something like that. So grass isn't always the best to use for situations like that. But the first time I actually played through, my first attempt, I didn't even have an electric or a grass Pokemon. I had neither. So that was really a big setback for me, because those are the only 2 weaknesses of water Pokemon, period. Like, if it's just a plain water type, not like water and flying or something like that. But, the second attempt, I did have an electric Pokemon, and it was Ampharos. While its special attack's high, its speed is terrible. Ampharos is pretty slow. Jolteon is definitely way faster than Ampharos, so I was glad I had Jolteon. The only problem, and I wish the Renal Jolteon was actually, like, not even just for the Challenge Cup, but for any of the other modes, the Jolteon's actually kind of poor. And it's sad, really, because I like Jolteon a lot. I love Umbreon, though. In case you didn't know that, my favorite evolution is Umbreon. And I especially love the shiny Umbreon, the coloring it has with the blue patterns as opposed to the yellow patterns. Although it does, the eye, instead of being red, it is yellow, so they did change that. But I really love shiny Umbreon, just Umbreon in general, but Jolteon is a close second. The only thing I wish was different for Jolteon was its defense isn't the greatest. It's not the worst, but it's not that great either. So one ground move could wipe it out pretty quick. And fortunately, that's the only weakness for Jolteon, since it's just plain, like, just electric type and nothing else. Because electric's only weakness is ground. So that is an advantage you have with that. Yeah, as you can see, Snorlax is a beast, so at least I was lucky and able to paralyze it, as well as doing some damage, but it was time to bring out the last Pokemon I kept in reserve, which was Poliwrath. And I'm glad I had it, because Snorlax, well, kind of similar with electric Pokemon, normal types only have one weakness, and that is fighting. Fighting is the only thing that normal types are weak to. Unless they're a combination of something else, like normal and flying or something like that. In that case, electric would be good against it, or rock, or anything else like that. And, as you've seen there, I used Dynamic Punch and confused it. And it tried to mirror match me here a little bit because it used Swagger on me, so both of us are confused at the moment. And even though Poliwrath got hurt from its own confusion, that wasn't too big of a deal, because the same thing just happened to Snorlax. And look at that! It was still left with 1 HP. Tell me that that's fair. Because it's not. So I just used Mud Slap since it was a move I rarely used anyway. Mud Slap's a weak move and it always lowers the opponent's accuracy, but I don't really use it much unless a situation like that just popped up. Oh, but it's not over yet though. There was still Heracross, if you remember. And this was like a nail-biting moment for me here because I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to take it down. But then I remembered, oh yeah, Mega Horn. It's not as effective to Poliwrath because of fighting. Bug against fighting is not very effective. And I started with Surf, but I actually discovered something else that helps. That Snorlax just used Swagger against me. So in addition to being confused, my attack stat went way up as well. So with that in mind, as you can see there, Dynamic Punch did quite a bit of damage, plus I confused it. So that worked out pretty good actually. And with that being said, and there it got lucky too. Just like the Snorlax, except this time it has 2 HP as opposed to 1. But yeah, that... I swear, luck goes in the favor of the computer players, even with little things like that. But I was at least impressed that I took it out. I will go ahead and say that. That was pretty lucky. So with that being said, that was probably the toughest trainer I faced in the whole Challenge Cup, so overall, not even just the Master Ball level, but the whole Challenge Cup, like all 4 difficulty levels. It'd be her right there, Kimono Girl, Miko. So that was a victory well deserved to celebrate for.